Hi, my name is Liam O'Hare. I'm Vice President of Sales for NES. NES has been an IBM premier business partner and consulting firm since 1980. Our focus has always been on analytics, data warehousing, and data integration. I'm here today to talk to you about a new solution that we've created to simplify the process of integrating data sources into data warehousing appliances like IBM Netezza. It's called SQLMaestro. So SQLMaestro is a product that we created. What is SQLMaestro? Well, in short, it's basically the fastest, cheapest, and most convenient way to load a data warehouse on a Netezza appliance. So why do you need cheap, fast ETL? It's pretty straightforward, right? So your data warehouse needs to be loaded often. Senior executives within the company rely on that data to make informed decisions the next day. Since the data is crucial to running the organization, senior executives not having that data is bad for IT employees. In addition to that, upgrading your ETL system can be very expensive. Data volumes are growing at an exponential rate today, thus making your margin for error shrink dramatically. So a traditional ETL architecture looks something like this. Traditional ETL systems basically extract data from operational systems. They transform the data into a form of data in the warehouse and load the transformed data into the data warehouse tables. The work is basically all done in this middle tier, right, which is comprised of a server, enterprise software, and some storage. So ETL has been great for decades for data integration. But that's because data warehouses have basically been relational databases. So for relational databases and relational warehouses, these systems work excellent. But if your data warehouse is now an appliance like Netezza, ETL might not be the best method to use to integrate data sources into that data warehouse. So going back to the value of Netezza, if your company owns a Netezza appliance, it's probably because they have to do analysis on sets of data that are complex, right? Or they need to analyze large data sets, or they need operational efficiency in their data warehousing group, whatever it may be. Netezza accomplishes this because its hardware and software are built to run joins and other SQL operations very, very quickly and intuitively. So Netezza can transform and move data really fast too. So it turns out that the processing speed of Netezza enables it to be an excellent ETL server. Having this transformation capability within the appliance actually makes it considerably cheaper than purchasing a separate ETL environment, which is this middle tier again. So being able to conduct the transformations within the Netezza appliance saves you significant cost on enterprise software, hardware, and storage. So this new approach that we talk about, this new data integration paradigm, is called ELT, right? Which is basically Netezza's ability to quickly transform data inside the appliance. So ELT stands for extract, load, and transform. So conceptually, ELT isn't much different from ETL. The same things happen to the data in the same order as before, but where it happens and which machine does the work, that's the difference. So in ELT, the server in the middle is eliminated, as you can see. And the functions are taken over by the Netezza appliance. So data is extracted from the source system and essentially loaded directly to Netezza unchanged. So Netezza then transforms and rearranges the data the same way an ETL environment would, and then puts the data in the data warehouse tables. So obviously ELT has great advantages, great cost savings, it's very fast. So why aren't more Netezza customers leveraging ELT? So one reason is that data warehouse developers have become very used to using sophisticated tools to do their work. In particular, enterprise ETL tools usually have a visual component to them, right, called Visual Data Flow Programming Language, that basically allows developers to create ETL programs by drawing data flows on the screens as shown in this picture. Now, when looking at a graphic like that, sometimes people consider that to be much more expressive and intuitive than looking at pages of SQL code. which is what they'd need to do if they were going to write ELT processes. Aside from the visual aspect of ETL technologies, there are many other issues that ETL tools take care of, right? So any kind of enterprise software, production software is a lot more than a set of just programs. Production software needs to be consistent and needs to be created in a very consistent and reproducible manner, allowing for things like testing, quality control, isolation of development from production environments, integrating, management sign-off capabilities and other practices collectively known as the software development lifecycle, or in short, SDLC. In addition to SDLC, there are many common features that almost all data warehouses need, right? So all of these things listed here: deployment, parameterization, versioning and source control, restartability, etc. If a customer of Netezza were to want to integrate these types of functions into the appliance using ELT, it's a lot of work. They'd have to develop a lot of SQL code, and they'd have to do a lot of extra development effort to build in these functions directly into the Netezza appliance. So our product SQLMaestro is changing that, right? So SQLMaestro is a unique tool that gives data warehouse developers the features they expect from an ETL tool, but which works in a Netezza ELT environment. So SQLMaestro lets organizations actually realize considerable savings and performance gains that ELT promises. So going back to the graphical example, you can see how SQLMaestro is structured to make the product more intuitive and to simplify a lot of the tasks that are associated with ELT work. Some SQLMaestro features, right? SQLMaestro is designed and built by data warehouse architects with decades worth of experience. SQLMaestro is a very small footprint, yet it includes many of the features listed here and many more. And as for performance, it's as fast as Netezza, and as anyone who uses Netezza currently knows, that's extremely fast. So summarizing sort of what we discussed, right? So SQLMaestro can dramatically reduce the cost of building an ELT-based data warehouse or migrating an existing Netezza warehouse to this new paradigm versus using traditional ETL. Another benefit is that developers who have been using current tools won't require much retraining. It's pretty intuitive. And with SQLMaestro, you really can realize the benefits of ELT. So here's our proposition. We would like you to try this solution out for yourself. Don't just take our word for it. So on our website at this URL, you can access the code for SQLMaestro and download it. To make things easier for our prospective customers and clients, we have a team of well-trained engineers and architects who can help you through the installation process and answer questions throughout the 30-day free trial. So would highly encourage you to download SQLMaestro, to use it, to engage our team. We hope that the information that we provided you today was informative, and we thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions about any of the content that was delivered, our contact information is on the subsequent slide. Thank you.